being able to see things clearly, we tend to attach to things and we tend to create suffering for ourselves, which is not existed outside, but we project our mental incapacity, and then it appears as if there is some truth outside, which is relative truth, and that is the way we are right now, because we see things and we feel it is real, it exists, and once we feel it exists, we attach, we condition, which causes us suffering. If you are really able to see a little bit further than that, you realize that these are all creation of your mind. So in a way, these are illusions. And everything that you see is not necessarily in a way it is, as it appears to you. It appears to us in that way because of our own ignorance. So we are not able to see as illusion, so we attach to everything that we see, like a holding on to rainbow, which we are not successful in holding on to rainbow, but we tend to attach to it. So that is the relative truth. I mean, there is this truth because people are experiencing it. So then everything that you are experiencing is projection of your mind. So what is mind and what is the nature of your mind? And nature of mind is not something that we are able to truly discover or find, no matter how much we investigate, no matter how much we research. And not being able to find and is the source, because since it does not exist as it is, and realizing that even though it doesn't exist as it is, there is a flow of energy that is derived from the universal truth, which is absolute truth. So that absolute truth is not something even we can verbally even communicate, and we can even conceptualize, because this is beyond our mind. So for that, we have to truly be able to integrate into the relative truth by seeing that within this relativity, there is absolute, nature, inseparable. So, which is to say, we are able to truly connect to it, integrate into it, and without being trapped and without having to experience consequences. So these are the ways that I feel we can tackle the universal truth. If we say there is a one universal truth, and seeing that there is one universal truth is also fabrication. And if you say there is no one universal truth, and that is also fabrication. So if you really realize that there is a two-way, one is to go beyond mind, and one is to relate to whatever is coming from the mind. So relate to whatever is manifesting from the mind is a relative truth. To be able to go beyond that mind is absolute truth. So whatever sensual experience that we have is a relative truth. We cannot deny that. And going beyond that is an absolute truth, which is to be free from the self, who is experiencing, the essential truth, which is to say that you're able to truly experience an essential pleasure and everything, whatever there is in the world, and pleasure or suffering as such, not separated. Like you don't have a sense of pleasure or sense of suffering as two different kind. Rather, you are, completely in the state, natural state. And that is what I think everybody would like to realize. I would like to believe that. We cannot deny anything, because everything is valid as it is. Because if you deny anything, we are denying our life. So, energy flow is unobstructed. So therefore, everything is our life, and every experience is our life. Everything is valid, and there's no need to deny anything. But problem is, with these experiences, if this experience is so enslaves you, in this place controls you, or lose your freedom to experience fully, then that is the problem, right? So how can we develop ability to not to experience consequences? Even if there is a consequence, if you are okay with it, then absolutely fine, because there's no self who is attached to good things and who wants to run away from the bad things as such, without realizing good and bad is also your projection. For instance, in the mirror, a beautiful face can be reflected, and ugly face can be reflected. Whether beautiful face or ugly face, whatever is reflecting in the mirror is not stained. Mirror doesn't have judgment to say, okay, this is ugly, this is beautiful, right? So the mirror is our mind. In our mind, all these things can manifest. Mind is not deceiving us. When we don't realize the quality of mind, when we don't realize the essence of our mind, then we tend to go away from that truth. Then we try to create another truth. So that, deceives us, not the mind. Because mirror, for instance, if it's mirror is our mind, right? Mirror doesn't attach to any of this, whatever is manifesting in the mirror, whatever is reflecting in the mirror. Mirror doesn't even have a sense that, it's so good that these are all reflecting in me. There's no sense like that. So that's going beyond mind. So, it's very important to, for instance, see if there is 1,000 ponds and there could be 1,000 moons reflecting in 1,000 ponds, right? So the moon that is in the 1,000 ponds is not the real moon, right? But it is possible to reflect. So similarly in our mind, and there is the possibility, so this is why we are experiencing here and now. Mind does not deceive us. When we do not realize the nature of mind, then we are obscured, we are defiled. Therefore, we don't see things clearly. So when we don't see the nature of mind, then we attach to the energy that flows from the mind by conditioning them. So by conditioning them, we departed. We are divorced from the nature of our mind. A moment you think about something, then you are divorced from the natural way. Natural way is natural flow of energy. So being able to integrate in that natural flow of energy is what make us celebrate our life. By thinking, we are influenced by our habits. When we think, we are conditioning. So thinking does not help at all. No matter how much we think, there is much more to think because there's limitation in thinking. What happens is like you condition yourself as someone who is watching the river and on the side of the river, and then judging everything that river is carrying, dead animal, flowers, garbage, grass, whatever is carrying the river. So you are on the shore of the river and judging that river is carrying this and that, and I don't want this to be carried, I want this to be carried, so on and so forth. It's unnecessarily unpaid job that we are doing. And when we condition self, and when we feel there is a self that is experiencing this, then we are divorced from the natural flow of our energy. That is who we are.